Greetings, and welcome to Dead Level Discussions.
Today we will be talking about our favorite actor who's well known for B-horror movies, dramatic pieces, and other things, and he is sadly not with us. John Rhys Davies.
Good one. Christopher Lee, actually.
Who?
The guy from Back to the Future played Doc Brown.
Oh, yeah.
And Fester in the Addams Family. Oh, no, that was Christopher Lloyd. No, but seriously, though, Christopher Lee is sadly no longer with us. He passed away at 93, which he led a long life, which was good, but it's still unfortunate because he was one of our favorite actors, and he's just amazing in just about everything he was in. So this video is dedicated to the memory of Christopher Lee.
We know he's not technically dead. He's just retreated to his coffin to regain his energy for the next 100 years. But for the sake of purpose, we're just going to say he's dead.
Yeah.
So I have some facts.
All right, let's hear him.
He's done several heavy metal songs of classic country music. For some reason, he sounds like he's a German guy that doesn't speak English when he sings.
He's actually the oldest. He was the oldest living recording artist for the heavy metal genre too, which is just awesome.
And he's the only member of the Lord of the Rings cast that actually knew J.R.R. Tolkien.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Oh, that's cool.
He's also was fluent in like 7 languages. He hunted Nazis in World War II. We all make mistakes. And there's a couple other things that like what was your thing?
Well, obviously his most iconic role is Dracula, so that'll probably take up a good bit of this episode, talking about his portrayal as the Count. He's been in the most Dracula films. He's played the character more than any other actor, and along with Bela Lugosi, he's one of the most iconic portrayals of the Count. He's definitely in my top 5, along with obviously Lugosi, Langella, Oldman, and Duncan Regger from Monster Squad.
What about Leslie Nielsen?
Oh yeah, from Dracula Dead Loving It. Yeah, he was good too.
For being so acclaimed as Dracula, he never actually talked all that much.
Yeah, well, see, I actually prefer when he talks more as Dracula. Yeah, in Prince of Darkness, he was completely silent. Horror of Dracula, he had that dialogue at the beginning. Then the rest of the movie, he was pretty much mute. But in Scars of Dracula, he talks a whole lot. He's got a lot of screen time in that movie. See, whenever Lee is on screen conversating with somebody else, the way he speaks with such an emotionless and monotone voice is just so eerie and unnerving. He just has that creepy and ominous presence, and that deadpan delivery of his dialogue just really enhances that. Like, I think Dracula Prince of Darkness is a better movie than Scars of Dracula, but I definitely prefer the talkative Lee from Scars to the silent one from Prince. I'm not saying he still isn't menacing as a mute bloodsucker, which he is, but I honestly find him scarier when he's talking to somebody and subtly taunting them. It's making him seem more like a cunning and calculating psychopath, than an animalistic monster, which Lee is still good at, but that seems more appropriate for someone like the Frankenstein monster. But it's just a testament to his range that he can pull off a suave and sophisticated Count, as well as a walking leech on 2 legs.
Yeah, well, that was because since he didn't have any lines in the movie, they had to have him actually do something.
Well, yeah.
Because the dialogue was too stupid for him to say.
Yeah, Prince of Darkness. He refused to speak any of it. That's the rumor, but I've also heard that there was no dialogue written for him in that movie. Who knows which one is true? I'm inclined to believe Christopher Lee. But in addition to Count Dracula, it's also pretty cool that he got to play Count Dooku in Star Wars Episodes 2 and 3. As a huge Star Wars fan, and of course, like every other huge fan, I prefer the original trilogy, which is far superior to the prequels. Really?
Yeah, I prefer the prequels. Just because, it's, way more backstory and stuff that they barely touched on in the original movies.
Learned something new about Spellbinder today. No, I'm just kidding.
But, I kind of like it's full of, lightsaber fights,
well, yeah,
battles.
Of course there's more action, more explosions and whatnot. I don't know. The original is just more beloved, more, I think better acting, better characters. Anyway, that's another video. But what I was going to say is, Peter Cushing played Grand Moff Tarkin in the original 1977 movie Star Wars, or Episode 4, A New Hope, if you prefer. It's pretty cool that Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee got to play in Star Wars.
But not in the same movie.
Well, no. What if Christopher Lee had played Darth Vader? Because, like, you know, David Prowse was in the costume, and James Earl Jones voiced him. But, like, what if Christopher Lee was in the costume and voiced him? Because he had a pretty deep voice. They could have used the same actor for both. David Prowse, I heard a video of him talking as Darth Vader. It was just terrible. It was cheesy and silly. He had, like, an accent. It wasn't menacing at all. James Earl Jones' voice was just iconic and awesome. I'm glad that happened, you know, overall. But it'd been interesting to see Cushing and Lee in the same movie, you know, as Grand Moff Tarkin and Darth Vader, respectively.
The only problem with James Earl Jones and all that is, like, if you don't know who he is, you won't be surprised by when the mask comes up. But when you do know who he is,
yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, pretty much. But, you know, it wasn't David Prowse that played the unmasked version either. It was Sebastian Shaw. But anyway, yeah, Count Dooku, Count Dracula. Yeah, it makes me want to, you know, with his passing, it makes me want to do a ranking video of the Hammer Dracula movies for the next episode of the Hellhound show. But really, they more or less go in order that they were made. Like, your best to worst is kind of
It's subversive.
basically, you know, the order that came out with, you know, Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires, which Lee didn't even play Dracula in, easily being the worst. This is my least favorite. It's the only one I don't own. Yeah. Kung Fu Zombies. Peter Cushing was in it, which is good, but
I wonder how much money they paid him.
Yeah, no. I wish he'd been in all the Dracula movies, all the Hammer Draculas. He was only in Horror of Dracula, then Dracula AD 1972, and Satanic Rites of Dracula, and then Golden Vampires. It would have been awesome. He was in the whole Frankenstein series, except for Horror of Frankenstein. But that would have been good if he returned for every Dracula sequel like Lee did, you know. He was in Brides of Dracula, which Lee wasn't in, of course. I consider that more of a spin-off than a sequel, though, honestly.
I kind of wonder how Hammer kept him coming back when he didn't like the movies.
Well, a lot of times he wasn't even supposed to come back, and, like, he didn't want to be in it, and, like, they'd written the movie already, and then he said, okay, he became available again, then they had to write him back into the movie.
Maybe that's why his parts sucked in those movies.
Yeah,
he wasn't supposed to be in the movie.
Yeah, he wasn't in it enough. Like, there wasn't enough focus on him in a lot of them, which was Taste the Blood of Dracula, I believe it was, where he comes back, he's like, they killed my servant. I must have my revenge, or I'm paraphrasing. It says something like that. It's like, well, if a certain hadn't died, he wouldn't have came back. So it's like, you know, they just had to write him in there. Sometimes it was very poorly done, but it's still entertaining nonetheless.
I mean, yeah, but they could have done it where, like, instead of rushing the whole job, they could have actually took like an extra 2 weeks or so to, like, actually write in where it makes sense. It didn't sound like
well, yeah, that's
stupid.
what I think. Yeah, I agree. Well, in addition to you know, Count Dracula, of course, and, you know, Star Wars and Lord of the Rings, he also played Sir Henry and Hound of the Baskervilles, you know, where Peter Cushing played Sherlock Holmes, and, you know, he played the Frankenstein.
That movie was awful.
You think so?
Yeah,
I love it. Yeah. I didn't like he played Fu Manchu a lot too. I didn't like what's that other movie? It was another Hammer movie that they were in, which wasn't.
You know what? I'm convinced. I'm convinced he married a mummy.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because his wife is fucking ugly. No, seriously, if you see a picture of her, they look like a pair of dried out prunes next to each other.
Oh, God. Well, yeah, he played Fu Manchu, Sir Henry in that Sherlock Holmes movie, and he played the Frankenstein monster in the first Hammer Frankenstein film, Curse of Frankenstein, which was the first of, that was the first of all the Hammer monster movie Universal remakes, basically. And Karis in the Mummy, the Hammer's version of the Mummy, which was 1959, I believe. Yeah, 57, 58, and 59. Frankenstein, Dracula, and the Mummy. If only he could have played the Wolfman, which Oliver Reed played in Hammer's version of the Wolfman, Curse of the Werewolf.
Did you know that Hammer had one more Dracula movie planned, but they fell through?
That sucks.
Yeah, it's called Dracula Reads the Phone Book.
The sad thing is, I would actually believe that.
No, it's just Christopher Lee in costume reading names out of this really thick phone book.
Hey, I'd watch it. I'd pay money to see it. Well, Christopher Lee actually played the character a few more times outside of the Hammer films. He played Dracula in the 1970 film Count Dracula, which is really close to Bram Stoker's novel, even when compared to the 1992 Francis Ford Coppola version with Gary
That was
Oldman.
actually a good movie.
Oh, that was an excellent movie. But yeah, Count Dracula. It was very low budget. The special effects kind of sucked, but it was still pretty good. And as I said, close to the book. He had that was the only one that portrayed Dracula with a mustache, which he did have in the novel. And he also played in the comedy, the French comedy Dracula and Son. I believe came out in 1976 in France, but then 1979 in the U.S. That was a comedy. That was really funny. Probably not as funny as Daddy Loving It.
Did he speak in that movie, or was he dubbed over?
Because
he knows, he knows French.
Yeah, wasn't he like multilingual?
Yeah,
like
French, Russian, German.
He was really intelligent as well. Like he was like really, he had a very high IQ. Yeah, he might have
I've never seen.
Actually spoke the dialogue. It's been years since I've seen it, so I honestly don't really remember. But I do remember it was funny. I think that was the one where he's like running and then there's a mirror and he runs into the mirror and hits his face. I think that was the movie that had that. That was funny.
He didn't have like the giant ball sack hair, did he?
Oh no, that didn't come until the Francis Ford Coppola movie.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, that was invented solely for the movie, by the way. The novel didn't have that. The Japanese people did the costume designs. That's why he had the kabuki man hairstyle and stuff, the beehive hairdo.
It feels like we're forgetting something really important.
There's probably a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah,
we always do that.
He was in Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah, we did mention that. But yeah, and Lord of the Rings and Star Wars, that's just.
But it's kind of stupid that like he was a big leading force in the first two movies and like nothing in the third movie, except that deleted scene.
Pretty much.
Oh, another thing I just remember when they did the whole scene where he got killed. Peter Jackson make it sound like a man getting stabbed in the back, and he didn't have to act because he'd actually been stabbed in the back during the war.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
What makes it mad is if you go.
Well, you know another thing. He was supposed to be Gandalf, but they said he was too old. But considering Ian McKellen only did it like on close-ups of his face, what was the point?
I know. Well, the character's old. Hello.
Yeah.
Ian McKellen did good too, though. I prefer him as Magneto, but whatever. Anyway, I hate it because if you go to IMDb, it says Christopher Lee's filmography known for Lord of the Rings and Star Wars. Like, really? He's most known for Dracula. Come on. We all know that.
Yeah.
He was also in Gremlins 2. He played that mad scientist. I
don't remember him being in that movie.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh, yeah.
You don't remember him in Gremlins 2?
No.
He got electrocuted to death. Well, the electricity gremlin.
I haven't seen the movie in like years.
So, yeah. He didn't really have a very big part, but him and Peter Cushing were in a lot of movies together. They had great chemistry. They were like best friends too. I know Lee was devastated when Cushing died. He was a lot older than Lee. He died, several years before Lee joined him at death. They just. I was thinking, they were like the 50s, 60s, and even early 70s version of Lugosi and Karloff in the Hammer films and stuff.
You know what they never did that would have been funny? Like a gay comedy. Where they were
That would have been funny. That would have been hilarious. House That Dripped Blood, that's a good movie. Just saying.
What's that one? I never seen it.
We should watch it.
Is it a Christian Lee movie?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Okay. You have anything else?
It's got to be something. Oldest recording heavy metal artist. One of the best Draculas. Especially when he has that commanding presence, when he's more vocal and not silent. He can pull off both.
Can I make a suggestion? I suggest, for the first time, this be our shortest video. Since we're grasping at straws right about now.
I feel like I had more planned. And then as soon as we turn the video off, I'm going to say, I forgot to say this, and this, like I always do. I think we should make a Facebook page for our show as well. Which I don't know if that'll help us get more viewers or not.
I don't know, because like I've been sharing my videos on Twitter. And a couple of you have been hitting at it, but that's about it.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so I think we covered everything pretty good.
Yeah, I guess so. We probably left some stuff out, but Well,
Nobody's perfect.
Yeah, I recommend all those movies. Christopher Lee was a great actor. He was a legend. Rest in peace. He will be missed. But he did live a long life, so that was good. Usually, when people are tall like that tall, it seems like they have kind of a shorter lifespan. I think because maybe their body has to work harder or something. I don't know. Usually,
well, he's a vampire.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah, I just remembered.
I wish they could have made one more.
Um,
one more Dracula film with Lee.
He did the German dub over of The Grinch.
Oh yeah, and it was Thurl Ravencroft who sings that Grinch song. You're a mean one,
Really?
Mr. Grinch. But it sounds like Christopher Lee could have easily done it. Like he could have definitely done that really well. He definitely had the voice for it, the melodic basso. I can always picture him singing that for some reason. But yeah, it was Thurl Ravencroft, the voice of Tony the Tiger.
Yeah.
Christopher Lee. Gone but not forgotten.
For
His
now.
legacy will live on. We should definitely have a Hammer Dracula marathon. And as I said, I'll probably do a ranking video or just a miniature review of each Dracula film, since, as I said, they kind of go in order.
Okay. I think we should wrap this up.
Alright, well, I'm Hellhound.
I'm Spellbinder.
And this has been Dead Level Discussions.
We're off to the bookstore.
Yep, that's right. So until next time.
Fuck you guys.